Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
The views and opinions expressed on Trudging Together are solely those of the host, co-host, and our guests. They do not necessarily reflect the views of any organization, fellowship, or other entity, and definitely not your boss, your neighbor, or that one guy in your home group. The content of this program is not intended to replace medical, psychological, or professional advice. If you're looking for that, please seek guidance from qualified professionals who spent way too many years in school. What you'll hear here is based on lived experience, recovery journeys, and the occasional bad coffee-fueled joke. Trudging Together is not affiliated with any 12-step fellowship. We are simply people sharing our stories and walking this path together, one day at a time. Thank you for joining us, and remember, recovery is serious business, but that doesn't mean we can't laugh along the way.
It's freaking Friday, man. It is Friday. Friday. It is Friday. Why is my camera all blurry? The hell, man. I already had technical problems. I don't need more. There we go. Okay. Maybe it's just a technical problem day. I don't know. Morning, Leisure. Good to see you. Happy Friday. It's funny because whenever I start Friday, I want to say, the F word. And it reminds me of Leisure. He puts out a thing each Friday. It says, fuck yeah, Friday. So I haven't seen it lately. Have you been putting it out? So I'm looking at that one person. I'm thinking about asking them to be on the show. They used to be a really big football star. His name is Tony Mandarich. I've never heard of him, but he's really good. Is it retrograde? Oh, yes, it is. Happy first day of spring, everybody. It is also 11/11. Wow. Those are not all coincidences. They're not all coincidences, man. Morning, Nick. Seen about 49 minutes. Did you come on here because you're like, I better go make sure that Dion knows we're meeting at noon? Better get on there. Remind him, hey, you meet with me at noon, Dion, on Fridays. Remember? I forget sometimes. My sponsors have to remind me, hey, we're supposed, how much longer are you going to be doing your live? We were supposed to meet 10 minutes ago. Such is my life. It was funny. I was upstairs and turned up the heat a little bit, and told I was talking to my son. I'm like, happy Friday, man. Happy Friday. And he laughs and he goes, yeah, it's like every other freaking day now. He's all grown it up. He's discovered adulthood is never ending. That Saturdays and Mondays are the same day when you have children and do what we do. Right? Try to get some. There we go. My hair need to go up. So it's getting out of control. Like my drinking. Right? Sad day. It's a sad day. I don't know if you heard. But yeah. Well, it's sad, and you may have already heard, but sorry, got a little distracted because I was setting up here. Chuck Norris passed away. And I know I don't know if you know a lot of it isn't so much that that we're sad that, it is sad that Chuck Norris is gone. He was like the epitome of what a man needs to be. And because he was a good guy, but he'd kick your ass. Right. And but we're losing a lot of people. It makes you feel your own humanity. Michelle, I'm gonna have to do it 1:30 my time, 2:30 your time, because I meet with Nick at noon. So I can't meet with you at 12:30. So I'm gonna have to do that. So I'll do it. I meant to send you a message. I just forgot to do it this morning. So, all right. Glad I went live. I had to sort out all my sponsee stuff today. If that's okay with you, if not, pick another time, or we'll do it this weekend. We'll get a regular day down. Just this has been a weird week. I had a lot of stuff thrown at me. So, all right. You know what time it is? It is time. Awesome. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. It is time for Dion's Daily Funnies. Today, I thought I'd try and stay with the topic. So I asked for jokes. I asked for jokes about around not growing up. That's what we're talking about here. We're not talking about the Jason Bateman show, Arrested Development. That's not what we're talking about. Although, if you like a good chuckle, I definitely recommend that show. It is hilarious. It is a very funny show. But Arrested Development means I started drinking or something happened and it stunted my growth right there. That's what it means. Right. But so Dion's Daily Funnies. Stolen jokes. I'm not saying I'm immature. I haven't read any of these, by the way. So if they're bad, it's not my fault. I'm not saying I'm immature, but I've learned that the best way to handle a crisis is to hide under a blanket and hope someone makes me snacks. Yeah. Hide under a cover. You can bring me snacks. They say grow up, but they never explain what to do with all your cool toys. Well, I finally got my act together. Now I just need to find a place to put it. Age is just a number. In my case, it's a very low number that I plan on sticking with for the next decade. I mean, how many people turn 29 multiple times because they don't want to admit that they're over 30? Don't worry. One day you'll worry that you're going to be over 40. I'm just a kid with a mortgage and a slightly higher risk of back pain. That describes me, yeah. Few more, just a few more. My inner child is just a kid who has been playing with matches for 30 years. All right. Finally stopped waiting for my ship to come in. So I'm just going to swim out and get it. Or in my case, just let it floating in the pool. All right. Question: what's worse than middle age? Answer: knowing you'll never grow out of it. Thank you. Thank you for being here, part of the Daily Funnies. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. I'm Dion. I'm your host. It's Friday, and you have made a decision to listen to me instead. Good job. It's better than drinking. Even if you don't like me, it's still better than drinking. They're coming to install part of my new fiber today. I'm switching services. I'm leaving Quantum. Yeah, I'm going to tell you this because I used to work in that industry. They're all the same. They're all the same. It's just, it's going to be like $20 cheaper because I'm bundling my services. Okay, what we got going on over here? Truth over 60. Hi, Amber. I love you too. All right. So, Arrested Development. We get older, but we don't always grow up. I know that was me. I in a way, I will forever be a Toys R Us kid. I had to grow up way too fast. You probably had to grow up way too fast. If you were a black sheep, you were probably born 10 years old. It's just, I don't know what it is. Some of us just have a natural ability for some things, right? But what we're talking about here is there are certain things in your life that can stunt your growth emotionally. Alcohol can do it. Abuse, physical abuse can do it. Abuse, trauma can do it also, right? And there are different, depending on the emotion, depend it's hard to describe it. Like my excitement is a different age than my discernment. Does that make sense? My happiness is a different age than other emotions. Really depends on the situation and what's going on with it. But anyway, I was 12 years old, but you know, well, it gives me an example right here, right? But in the big book, it talks about, well, not in the big book, in language of the heart, he talks about emotional sobriety, and emotional sobriety definitely fits in this, where acting like you're 17 at the age of 37 or 47 is not acceptable anymore. When I'm throwing myself on the ground and kicking and screaming, and I'm 40 years old because I'm not getting what I want. Yeah. And we're not kidding, right? My body aged, but parts of me stayed stuck. Did anyone else feel emotionally younger than their actual age? Right? It even says it. It even says it kind of says it in the big book. We liked it when people called us precocious, not precocious. Maybe that's the word. I'm not sure. But what it's saying is we loved it when people said that we were smarter than our age. And I heard this all my life. Now I listen to people say it to my daughter. Yeah. Now that I'm older, people don't say it. That I'm Yeah, now they're like, man, you really act like a child, right? By the time I was 11, I was 30. By the time I was 13, I was paying bills, doing laundry, cooking dinner, the chores. I knew how to pull weed. By 13, I had a lot of skills. Yeah, chop wood, all sorts of stuff. All right. Yeah, I remember Gen X, we didn't grow up with microwaves. Hey, no, no. You learn how to make your own sandwiches pretty darn early. Even my granddaughters making their own sandwiches, but they're making Nutella sandwiches. They're putting so much on it, it's breaking up the bread. So we're gonna have a Nutella sandwich training this weekend. I'm gonna make them put peanut butter on it too, because they're eating up all my Nutella. All right, so we had to grow up way too fast. You went through this too, all right? If people stopped saying I was ahead of my years at about 30, see, that's about when it stopped, um, for the most part. But I've always been, I'm not going to say emotionally healthy, but emotionally intelligent. That's where a lot of my intelligence comes from. There's some things I don't understand. I'm not a genius or anything, but I have my special skills. God gave us all special skills, right? But anyway, what is arrested development? Okay. It's where the growth stops at some point. It's usually tied to trauma, addiction, and avoidance. And we stop developing where we start coping. We stop developing where we start coping. Yeah. Right. So I started drinking at 13, and a lot of Dion would be 13 years old, especially when it came to relationships. Uh, I know I haven't complained about, but my finger still fucking hurts a lot. It is always getting caught. And it still pops. And when it pops, it hurts. All right. Nick said earlier, turned up the heat. It's 70 already. Dude, I'm in a basement. Okay. When I woke up this morning, I could have cut glass with my nipples. So shut up. I'm 55. It's cold down here. Sorry, you give me shit, I'm gonna give it back around here. Thanks for the leeway on that one. I appreciate it. Right? How does it show up? I I would overreact over small things. Overreact. Did you get this one? Oh, you're God, you're so over emotional. Gosh. You're too much. I still hear that every now and again. You're a little too much. I got an answer to that one now though. Well, then you can go find less. You're not required to hang out with me. In fact, to this point, I'd rather you didn't. Avoiding responsibility. And what was the responsibility that I was avoiding? That I was drinking. My behavior was what I was not taking responsibility for. Right? So Nick says excuses are the foundation that built the home of failure, built the house of failure. You would be correct. Yeah. I built my home out of matchsticks and decided to have a fire. Didn't work out too well. I'd build glass houses and be the first one to throw the stone. Right? What are other things? Needing the control, seeking validation, difficulty with relationships, same patterns, different situations. Every single one of these has the same pattern. And I work off patterns a lot. That's how I know what's going to happen next. Because patterns always follow something. It can't be helped. Okay? Patterns. After you wash your hands, do you dry them? That's a pattern. You don't have to. You don't have to dry them. You can let the air dry them. Air dry them or whatever. Yeah. But no, you grab a towel. It's a pattern. Try to think of other patterns that are a little bit better of an example than that. But, right? What are other patterns? If I help another alcoholic, I tend to feel better. That's a pattern. If I sit in my misery, I'm probably going to end up with misery. That is a pattern. Something becomes available. Somebody is not quite well. I know what they're going to do. I know how they're going to try and work the system. Okay? Beyond the fact that I am a recovered alcoholic and a bullshit artist myself, I worked in fraud for years and years and years. I was taught how to catch fraud. It's not hard. It's a pattern. People will do the same thing. And you should see some of the stuff I've seen. I was in banking. I helped sell credit card machines, things like that. But beyond that, we had this 90-day no credit check loan. And it was legit. It was legit. I don't think it's around anymore today. People would try the craziest thing. They would doctor pictures. They would make stuff up. And here was the rule. If the phone rang, they were lying. So these patterns, right? Restream, you tick me off because it's saying it's one person here and there's like 4 or 5 people here. All right. I don't know why it does that. That's why I shouldn't. But see, here I am overreacting to a small thing. It's hard to avoid it, isn't it? That's part of the daily trudge here, folks. I mess up. But when I catch them, then I get to show you, hey, see? See how I did that? Yeah, don't do that. What's up, whiny butt? Why aren't you in the sunroom? Should I let you out of the sunroom? That's usually where you're at. You want the window open, right? So alcohol and drugs became the solution. And I didn't feel the need to grow. I just wanted to escape by this point because I already felt like I'd grown up. And it was one of the reasons why I was so angry at my parents. I was so mad at them. All right. My mom got sober and she decided she was just going to, now all of a sudden she's just part of everybody's lives. I was like, yeah, I've been over here doing all, you're taking my stuff. They they didn't come to me and ask me, "Hey, how have you been raising the children? Because it's working." Now keep in mind, I'm this is a 13-year, 14-year-old's head. Okay, so it's not quite right. Right? Okay. It's the fallacy of it. Thinking I was grown up. I wasn't. But they forced me to be an adult, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Well, you can go be a kid." Well, but I'm an adult. Kids have these restrictions. They have to go do this. They have to go do that. I am not that person. So I didn't understand. I didn't get it. Why I had to follow all the rules. I have been following them for years. Now all of a sudden I need to follow these rules. I didn't go for it. Uh, Other kids did great. So good on them. It did partially. And don't get me wrong, because I am very happy that my mother sobered up. I am very, very happy. Now she's with a great the person she's with the person she is supposed to be with. I'm not very happy with him right now. Because last time I was there, I even told him, okay. And I'm not his biggest fan, but I do believe that he's probably the best thing that's happened for my mother. I can not like you and feel that way. Did you know that? And he told me, he said, bullshit. And my thought was, if you don't think that you're the best thing that ever happened to my mother, then maybe you need to get away from my mother. Yeah. So, he's not going to get any more compliments from me. That's for sure. All right. And I felt that way. It was true. So why would he get so angry? Huh? Maybe go to a meeting. Go help somebody, dude. Instead of bossing me around, right? All right. Seeking validation. Oh, 50 years old looking for validation from my parents. I'm 55 now. I don't do it anymore. I thought and this went on for years and years and years. It was part of my trauma. I'm never going to hear the words that I would like to hear from my parents. It's not going to happen. It's okay. I no longer need them. I can do that myself now. It's a lot of hard work, but now I've got self-worth. Dion can handle himself. Yeah, in most situations. I still have emotions. Things happen, but I know my worth now. I moved into that stage about a year ago. 54. So don't wait as long as I did to stop seeking validation from everybody. Right? That's that emotional sobriety again. They're human with their own problems. I was raised the way I was raised. It happened. It cannot be changed. It's what am I going to do about it that matters. That's what matters. It's all that matters. Everything else is in the past. I know. Still hurts. Hurts to think about. Yeah. For me, I'm not sure that it's ever going to go all the way away. The best I can do is arrest it. Yeah. It's the best I can do. Maintain it. The emotional maturity got delayed, and my life skills didn't develop. My emotional life skills. I have other life skills that I had to learn pretty early. I learned how to balance a checkbook when I was really young. I wasn't very good at it because I had dyslexia, right? And that wasn't too many times. It wasn't a bunch of times. Although I was very good at forging my mother's signature to get out of school. I got caught doing that a couple times. Right. I always loved the punishments that they gave me. How can you punish a kid that doesn't see it as right? Like my parents would ground me. I didn't have any friends. It did not change anything for me. I would ditch school. So they would suspend me. Oh, no adult supervision for a couple days. Oh no, what shall we ever do? This was before in-house detention. Those weren't those weren't to me, those weren't consequences. Those were exactly what I wanted. I haven't have any friends at school. No, that's where everybody picked on me. I'd rather be running through a field, imagining that I'm in Star Wars or something. That's what I would have rather done. All right. So life skills didn't develop, but then the wake up call starts to come. You start seeing that your relationships, um, you know, I even had one relationship when I was 24, and this person was 3, 4 years younger than me, and they told me that I still needed to sow my oats. That's how immature I was. Yeah. All right. So sobriety removes the escape portion. Now we have to face our emotions, our consequences, and our reality. And this is where growth actually starts to happen. This is where we start to grow up. Now, I have grown up kind of emotionally and things like that, but I'm still a Toys R Us kid. So play often, do it. Yeah. So learning patience, taking responsibility, regulating our emotions, and listening instead of reacting. These are things I should have learned years ago. It says I'm learning them now. I've learned them. I've done learned them. Now I just work with them. I don't need to work on them anymore. Although, I'm still learning, right? You might feel like you're behind. You might feel like you're behind other people, and that's going to bring on shame. You can't compare yourself to other people. See, they have their own things too. Everybody's naive about something, right? There is no one person that knows everything. It's not, right? So comparing yourself does not mean that it's true. The only comparison you should make is you from a previous point, like last week, month, a couple years ago. And why do we do that? So that we can mark progress. That's why we do that. All right. So you're not behind, you're just starting. And what helps? Going to meetings, talking to others. Do your 4 step. Do your darn 4 step. Get it done. Get 4 or 5 done. That in and of itself will clear up a lot of this. It'll clear up a lot of problems because you're gonna find that most of your problems are just boogeymen. They don't exist. All right. Taking inventory, being honest with yourself mostly. Because if you're honest with yourself, you'll be honest with other people. All right. So recovery isn't just dropping drinking, it's learn how to living differently. And we don't just get sober, we finally start growing up. And it becomes a much better world. The world becomes a little less hostile because I'm not creating hostility. Right? So as you go out today, feel free to, well, there's no rain, but feel free to jump in puddles, skip, whistle, sing out loud, whatever you want to do, right? As long as it's not hurting others, it's all right. Yeah, it's all right. So be a kid today. Have fun. You're allowed to do that. You're yeah, yeah. I know you want the window open. I'm busy, dude. All right. If you like what we do here, please, if you appreciate what we do here, please like, love, share, whatever you feel is appropriate. Like to help us out a little bit, we are accepting donations. The Daily Trudge is self-supporting. You can do that through Venmo at Trudging Together is the handle, or through the Cash App Dion G. Miller. I've been taken over by a cat here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and keep on trudging.